The Skyport and New York systems by Grande are component brass and stainless steel tube systems that can be configured into unlimited designs for beautiful commercial and residential applications. Bar rails, handrails, glass railing, cable rail, solid stainless steel bar and tube combinations, stainless steel balustrades, and railings. The possibilities are endless. Because of the similarities in assembling the brass and stainless, this instructional video will only focus on the Skyport stainless line. Now that you've seen the components, now let's see how they are assembled. For illustration purposes, we are building a small 3-foot wide section of cable rail with a stainless steel rod and glass clips. The rail will be 42 inches tall. Of course, the first step is to measure the post and the top rail and cut them to length. Cutting this stainless tube can be accomplished by using a bandsaw or a cold saw with a stainless steel cutting blade. The first fittings that we are going to install are the post bases. They have 2 expansion screws that are on 25mm centers. The bottom hole must be drilled 25mm from the bottom of the post. The drilling template has an 8.5mm hole on one side suited for this fitting. By locking down the tool, we are ready to drill the first hole. After this hole is drilled, we move the fitting to drill the next one exactly 25mm above the first hole. Now we insert the floor mount and tighten the set screws to lock the fitting into place. It may be necessary to use the shims included with the fitting for a tight fit. Once the expansion fittings are tightened, the fitting is locked and will not move. The next fitting that we will install is an adjustable elbow. There are 3 adjustable elbows and 1 fixed elbow available. Each one is designed for a specified range of adjustments. Only 1 hole is needed for each side of the connection, 25mm from the end of the post and 25mm from the end of the crossbar. We use the same drilling template to do this. The drill bits are HSS drill bits and can easily be found at most hardware stores in the U.S. The drill press is the best machine to use to drill the holes. A very low speed of 600 RPM or less is recommended. Now the fittings can be inserted and the expansion screws tightened to secure the connections. Because this fitting is adjustable, it has 2 lock nuts that can be tightened once the desired angle is achieved. This expansion fitting with 1 screw is the method that is used on nearly every tubing connection. There is only one other type of connection that we use with the system. It is called the blind rivet nut or threaded rivet nut connection. The blind rivet nut is really a small rivet that is threaded on the inside. It is used so that a fitting can be screwed into the side of the tubing. In our next example, we are going to measure and drill holes for 3 cable fittings and 1 horizontal 16mm rod and 2 glass clips. First, we measure and mark the holes for the cable fittings and rod. In this example, we are installing them about every 3/7/8 inches. After making the holes, we use the template to drill the holes in the proper places. After the first hole is drilled, we use the second drilling template to help us hold the tube in position so that each hole is on line with the first. We don't want our fittings to be a little bit left or right of each other. After the holes are drilled, we insert the rivet nut. In this case, it is a 6mm. There are many tools that you can purchase to install the rivet nuts. This manual tool is the Gasipa GBM 300. It may be ordered with the M6 and M8 noses to work with our system. It may cost between $300 and $500. The nut is threaded onto the nose. It is inserted into the tube, and the handles are squeezed together to lock the rivet into place. This illustration shows you how the rivet is locked into place. Pneumatic tools can be purchased from between $400 and $600, but much care must be used to determine the correct air pressure. Too much can cause the mandrel or nose screw to break. The cable fitting should be disassembled for installation. By loosening the small 2.5mm set screw, you will see the machine screw and the fitting that attaches to the post. After this part is installed, you can attach the main part of the fitting. Now measure and cut your cable using a cable cutter or cut-off wheel. Take apart the horizontal part of the fitting and push the cable through the outer fitting. Now attach the two-part locking sleeve, leaving only a hair of cable showing through the end. Screw the outer fitting onto the larger fitting and tighten. Repeat this step for each terminal end of the cable. Now you can screw on the fittings to the posts. A hex screw head on the outside of the cable fitting allows you to tighten up the cable so that it is taut. Finally, you can set the locking screw that holds the cable taut. The solid rod fitting is installed in the same manner as the cable fitting. Loosen the small 2.5 millimeter set screw and screw in the mounting screw and mount to the tubing. Now attach the fitting to the mount. Insert the rod and tighten the set screw that holds the rod in place. The glass clips are installed in much the same manner. Simply take apart the glass clip fitting. The security pin is removed, and you can see the 6 millimeter machine screw used to secure the fitting to post. Tighten it snug and reassemble the glass clip fitting. Our glass clips come with rubber bushings and can be used for glass ranging from 3/8 inches to a 1/2 inch. Please specify the thickness of glass that you are using. We recommend that you work with your local glass supplier to build the type of glass that you need for your particular application. The Skyport system has 3 basic types of glass fittings. The WG175 round and the WG174 oval are for inline mounting applications. The WG176 is used for attaching glass panels to the outside of the rail or frame. Another type of connection may be used for attaching tube to tube. In this example, we are using the WF132 or WF133. If you wanted to create a bottom rail using the same tube as the top rail, you could use this fitting. The WF133 can also be used to make 2 connections on a 90% angle to each other because of the shaved off side. This time, we use the drilling template to drill a larger 11 millimeter hole for the M8 rivet nut. The nut is inserted, and we use a hand tool to set the rivet nut into place. Now another tube can be attached horizontally. The Skyport system is based upon a 1.66-inch tube with a 0.08-inch wall. Each of the fittings is machined and finished under the highest quality standards. There are elbow connections, both fixed and adjustable, floor mounts and wall mounts, couplings to connect vertical and horizontal runs of tubing, various connectors to configure both horizontal and vertical runs of solid stainless rods, glass clips, and decorative collars to fit over our 14 millimeter solid rods. Fittings for handrails include these sleek fittings, and the WS187 is a beautiful bracket for footrails or other applications. The prefabricated L and W sections at various radiuses make turns and railing returns easy to assemble. Cable fittings like the WB800 and the WB810 are revolutionary because they allow you to assemble a cable rail with no swagging. You can cut and install on site. The WJ10 drilling templates are an integral part of the installation process. They help you by locking down the template in the right position to drill your holes for fittings and expansion screws. The Skyport and New York Component Systems offer you a no-weld solution in a sleek modern design. Whether you're a custom builder, commercial contractor, or metal fabricator, you will find the system to be easy to work with and flexible for a variety of applications. We look forward to working with you on your next project.